Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to She Will Empower. I'm your host, Jessica Cherry. I'm a strategic intervention and empowerment coach, an NLP practitioner, a networking and empowerment community director, a certified sound bath practitioner, social media and marketing gal, and your Tuesday morning wake up club host on 94.3 KWVH Wimberley Valley Radio, where we bring real talk, real tools, and real empowerment straight to the airwaves. And if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. And if you're listening on the podcast replay, welcome to this space where we talk about mindset, growth, psychology, and the real life decisions that shape who we become. And this show is for people who are trying to do better in life. The ones building businesses and careers, the ones raising kids, the ones caring for aging parents, the ones reinventing themselves. And today I have a special treat. I have my business partner, Stephanie Johnson, the other half of Howdy Social Media and Marketing, which is the company that we co-founded together, and it has literally taken off on us like a rocket. How are you doing, Stephanie?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here and very excited.
I am so super honored that she is here. And before I go any further about talking about building successful businesses, I wanted to take a moment and I wanted to have you introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Stephanie Johnson. Where do we start?
We start with you are an award-winning woman. She does not do good with talking about herself. So I'm going to let everybody know that she just won Best of Hays County for graphic design. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Of
yes.
course. So how long have you been in marketing before we met?
Yes. So I grew up in the marketing and publishing world. My parents have always been in publishing and owned newspapers and worked in that industry. So I always saw it when I was younger. And then from there, I started Stephanie Gazella Design and Marketing. And so I was doing that for a while, for a couple of years, and went to University of Houston, got my Bachelor of Science degree. And then I went to a lot of ladies' lifestyle events. And then that is where I met Jessica. And I was there with clients. I always promoted clients through her event. And I just always knew her, always saw her at all the events. And then one day we just decided... We went to lunch or dinner. I don't remember.
Yes. So we actually met at a gala.
Yes. I forgot about that.
So we met at at a local chamber of commerce. They had their gala, and I was brand new to the chamber. I did not know anybody. I bought 2 tickets for me and my husband. And then we decided to sit down. And when we sat down, you were at the table. You and your husband were at the table, and we just hit it off. We hit it off from right there. And then I started seeing you at Ladies Lifestyle Network events, which, of course, I'm the director of. If you don't know that, I'm the director of the Hays County chapter. And I started seeing you around, and I think we just hit it off. It was always so fun to talk to you, and I feel like we just kind of clicked. And, behind the scenes, I've been doing social media and events for about 17 years. And you and I were just always talking. It was always a pleasure to talk to you. And one day I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I've done social media and marketing privately, but I wanted to extend it into a public business. And because you have this on your own, it's a lot. It's a lot to do and to handle. And I wanted a really solid business partner. So one thing led to another. I reached out to you about doing this. And the next thing you know, we're sitting down, having wine, eating girl dinner, which is a charcuterie board. Was it a charcuterie? I think it was like
a lot
cucumbers.
Of cheese. Lots of cheese and wine is all I remember.
There was lots of cheese and wine. And then the next thing you know, we made a social media and marketing company. And that has taken off on us. So much interest. We love supporting local. I always say Howdy Social supports local, and that is where we're at. So today I wanted to talk about something that will help a lot of businesses or a lot of business owners really step into their zone, which is 6 key habits to building a stronger digital brand. Because as you know, Stephanie, this is not the 80s anymore or 90s or early 2000s.
No. It's wild. Like 90% of people on the internet are on social media. And it's so important that you have a good digital presence and that you can show up.
Yes. And I like bringing experts. So I am so honored that I'm in business with you and that also you know so much because I have picked her brain. I have picked it really well and I'm still doing it. And she is just a solid marketing person. She's amazing at what she does. And so the first one I want to talk about is I want to talk about showing up with purpose and clarity, right? What do you think about that?
That's so important. You want everybody to know who you are, what your business is, what your service is. And that's so important because if you don't show up with a clear message, they're not going to know what you're offering. So that's one of the most important things. I really say quality over quantity when it comes to these things. You want quality social media posts. You want quality graphics, quality videos. So all of that, I say quality over quantity any day. And you really want your audience that's relevant to your target market. That's what you want to focus on.
So you're telling me that I shouldn't post green and then purple and then blue
No.
and then random fonts and then talking about my dog when I'm selling cheese.
You need a strategy. So you can talk about your dog, but does it fall into your strategy? People do love seeing dogs on social media.
Dancing dogs especially.
Yes, especially. But relate it back to what you're offering. Relate it back to your service. Relate it back to your business. And when you do that, you come with a clear message. And that's really important because people want to do business with you. But you have to have clear messaging.
Exactly. So I think the most important on showing up with purpose and clarity is that when somebody goes to your page, right? Because your page is now the newspaper, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's your own little section on the internet that's all about you. So you want to make sure that your posts are aligned with what you're doing.
Yes.
Right?
Always.
So if you're a restaurant, for example, maybe once or twice you can talk about your dog in your restaurant, but always keep the focus centered around what your business is.
Yes, every post, I think, and this goes back to marketing, to publishing, it's who, what, when, where, why, how. Those are kind of your important, and it's back to the basics. But if you can answer those questions, you can get that clear message to your audience.
So everybody, purpose and clarity. That is, I think, the foundation, right?
Yes.
Is like when you meet with potential clients, you want to first get to know who they are, what their purpose is, right? Like, for example, you want to sell, we're going to keep the thing with dogs, right? Let's say you're a dog treat company, right? You want to make sure that your social media has clarity, that you are selling dog treats, that you do service, let's say local, right? Like, for example, we are all about local here. You want to make sure that you have the key factors, like the who, what, when, where, why, right? Mm-hmm. Is that something you learned just, growing up in the area? I'm sure you learned a lot from your parents, just being in that space.
Yes, that is definitely something. It was like you learn the 4 P's and the who, what, when, where, why.
What are the 4 P's?
Oh my God, don't put me on that
spot. I'm not going to put her on the spot. She's a little nervous.
Product, price, place, promotion.
Look at her go.
All of that goes into promotion. And then your promotion is these questions like, how am I going to promote my business? How am I going to promote this service? And that's when it goes into these key habits that we're talking about here.
Love it. Love it. So I think we did the first one really well. It's just purpose and clarity. Really make sure that you have your vision aligned. And if you're not sure about your purpose and clarity, don't go any further.
Yes.
Right?
Have your vision, have your purpose, your clarity, have your vision ready to go, have your strategy in place before you move forward with anything.
Yes.
Or you're just going to be throwing things to the wind.
Yes. And I will tell you, when I started the business with her, when I started Howdy Social Media Marketing, I am very quick. I am like, wham, bam, bam, let's do this. And she put on the brakes on me several times. Yes. Pause was the word coming out of her mouth because I am go, go, go. So I love having that. It's kind of like we're a yin yang kind of thing.
It works well. It works very
really well. I am the spontaneous and she is the brakes.
Yes.
But hey, man, we are doing it. We're rocking and rolling.
It works so well. And all your strengths, I feel like, are my, opportunities. And I feel like we just align really well.
Vice versa. All right. So purpose and clarity. I think we've done really good on this one, right? All right.
If you don't get anything from this, get purpose and clarity.
Yes. And don't go any further because you're literally just making like a whole ball of trouble.
Yes.
Really define what you're doing, who you're doing it for, why you're doing it, and settle with that. All right. We are going to move on to number 2. Number 2 of 6 key habits to build a stronger digital brand. Number 2 is understand your audience struggles. And I think struggles is the key word here. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what is the audience missing here? Why would they buy from you, right? So like when you're creating that promotion or putting that marketing in place, for example, you mentioned dog treat company.
Yep.
So maybe the struggle is they want like an all natural dog treat. And so maybe the company is an all natural dog treat place. And so you got to find their struggle. Like, what is the reason why? Why should they go with you? What makes you different? What makes you stand out? And kind of how can you build trust with them too? So there's always a reason. And the reason is why. Like, what are they struggling with? Once you know that, you can also build a strategy around that. And this is kind of where you can get away from your competition. So this is where you differentiate.
You don't want to be copycat.
No, you want to stand out. You want to make it different. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you do want to stand out. What makes you stand out? What are those key features that you offer within your business that makes you stand out? And that's where you highlight that, because that's probably the whole reason you started the business, right? And so that's what your audience is looking for. And so then that would become your target audience that you're trying to get.
And really double down on the struggle, right? Because there is a market for everything.
Yeah.
Not just dog treats. I mean, all natural dog treats that are pink. I mean, there's a niche for every single thing, I feel.
Every single business.
And it's highlighted in the digital space, right? It wasn't like, for example, the 90s where you had to go to the newspaper and maybe you weren't able to find what you need because it's in print. You don't have a search button in the newspaper, right? I'm sure that you know all about that from your background growing up.
Yes.
There's not a search button. The internet is so immediate. It's immediate gratification.
Yeah. People want things and they want them now. And let's be honest, we all have short attention spans. So...
You are right. We do. I think I know that there's a whole bunch of studies out there how short our attention spans are versus our peers back in like the early 2000s, right?
Yes.
Did you ever have a MySpace?
Yes, I did back in the day.
Yes, back in the day, way back,
in the day. My first social media platform was MySpace, where we would code our own pages and put music on it.
Yes, I bet you were a natural at that, having the background.
So fun.
I was struggling.
Were you?
I was the struggle bus on those codings in the background, but I remember the glitter and all that. But back to audience struggles. But yes, it was great. But the audience struggles here. I mean, you want to really define who is they call it an avatar, right? Who is your avatar? Who is your target person? Who are you selling to?
Yeah.
Understand where they're coming from and really hone down on what they would search for in the keyword box, right? That's really important. What is the SEO on that?
Yeah, it's kind of like you want to know, you probably already know your target audience. And so that's who you want to highlight and who you want to grab, right? So everybody has different demographics, a different target audience. There's so many things you can do when you're trying to find your target audience. And Meta makes it pretty easy when you're running ads and things like that to kind of define that target audience.
Oh, talking about Meta ads, you are a pro at that. I have been so impressed with you with that. Legit. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. Sorry. Yes. I just had to plug you on
There's totally different things.
You're good.
There's organic, which is, you're throwing your marketing out there. That's what most businesses do. They throw out their organic social media post, right? So that's all. You're going to see that. Your followers are going to see that. But then when you go to Meta ads, that's where you can really hone in on those demographics and say, I want between ages 20 to 30 on this specific ad. And you can go down to everything, income. You can do all kinds of crazy things on there.
So you can really define who you want to sell to in the Meta ads.
Yes. Like you have an exact target audience. You can find which location. So geographical, it's where it's really important. And you can really get big on local here because you can say, okay, I just want Hayes County or I just want Wimberley. And so once you do that, you can say, I want this area plus a 10-mile radius or however far you want to go out. So you can really define your actual target audience and get your local audience. And that's what makes it so special because, on social media, you are kind of throwing out things and you have strategy. But then when you add Meta ads in as a layer, that's how you can get a lot of new customers, get people seeing your stuff. They're just scrolling. It pops up. You can define where it pops up, Instagram, Facebook, all kinds of things.
So Meta ads would be like the silver platter.
Yes.
With your business. Just pops up to the exact audience that you want in their scroll.
Yeah, and a great way to get new leads, new business, new eyes on your business. Somebody who might say, I've seen them before, but I've never actually gone there before, or something like that. So it's a great way to kind of capture that. You can do all kinds of things. You can retarget people that have been to your website, that have been to your page. There's retargeting campaigns. There's so many things you can do within it.
Wow, it sounds like a black hole.
Yeah, we're not going to get too far into it, but
no, but it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it's just you define your target audience, you define their struggles, and then you make an ad, and then there it is on their feed.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I feel like it's game changing when it comes to local businesses.
Nice. All right. So number 2 is understand your audience struggles. So if you're just joining in, it's 6 key habits to build a stronger digital brand. Number 1 was show up with purpose and clarity. And then number 2 was understand your audience struggles. We are moving on to number 3. And number 3 is use visuals that reflect your style. Talk to me about this.
Yeah, I can probably dig really deep into this one, but I'm pretty passionate about this one coming from the graphic design background.
Best of Hays County right here, sitting right here in front of me. She gets so nervous when I say that. But it's true. It's true. Yes. It's true. Okay, talk to me about visuals.
Yes. So your branding, every brand has their logo. They have their colors that they want to use. And so when you're creating these graphics, you want to make sure that these graphics are matching your branding. You don't want to have like a blue and gold logo and then throw out like a purple graphic random with no logo, no branding, no nothing. So it's really important that your graphics kind of align with your brand. You want it to match. You want people to recognize, like, think of any big brand. Think of Coca-Cola or somebody like that. When you think of that, you think of red and white. You might think polar bear. Red, white, black, I guess. And so that comes to your mind.
The little swoosh.
You think of like Nike, you think of orange and white, you think of all these things, right?
Just do it.
Yeah. So it's really important that kind of that style, that it reflects everywhere within your graphics so that it all aligns and it all matches. And then I'm going to get into a whole wormhole here about AI graphics. So don't get me started.
I'm going to get you. This is where we're going to get started, Stephanie.
If you can see me now, I'm turning red in my face. So
she feels a certain way.
I feel a certain way. So I actually really love AI when it comes to making you more efficient and helping you out with things. So, I do like when it comes to AI, but AI graphics are not there yet. I don't know when they'll be there yet, but they all kind of look the same. You can tell when somebody uses one. It's very noticeable. Somebody might have a third hand, or it changes some people's logos sometimes, and it can help. I think it could be a great starting point with like, here's an idea, here's what I want to do. But anybody that knows graphics, I mean, even people that don't know graphics, like they look at that and they're like, yeah, that's an AI graphic, And so the credibility goes down. I feel like you lose that level of trust. I am noticing a lot of brands getting away from AI and going with that real genuine marketing now.
I like that word genuine that you just used.
It's really important in the day of AI photos, videos, AI everything. It's going to continue to grow.
It's not going away.
Yeah. I'm really watching, all these brands from small to large, just with these, marketing campaigns that are very genuine, real life people. A lot of people are going more like lifestyle because they want to steer away from that AI and those AI graphics and those AI visuals.
I think personally AI is great when you use it in the best way possible.
Yes.
But yeah, people love people. We are a community species. We always have been. We always will be. Take it back to the caveman days. We love realness.
Yes.
We love the human touch, the human aspect. And when you're throwing, a third arm on somebody, which I actually sent you a screenshot of somebody that
I get a lot of photos.
Had a third arm.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Stephanie, I know you're not going to like this one, but look what I found. I feel like AI is a double-edged sword, right? It's great if you use it in a great way, but you check your work. Make sure that there's not 11 fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're going to use it in a way that helps you. And like I said, it's a great starting point.
Especially, when you are a startup, I mean, it has a lot of useful information, a lot of great ideas. But we are talking about style and digital. I mean, you're right. It's not there yet.
Yes. So when it comes to your brand, those visuals always reflect your brand the way that you'd want to be seen in person, right? You always want to reflect that style. Yeah. So that's very important that you have,
double
all that
check
branding.
your work.
Yeah. Double check. Check for typos, check for third hands, check for changing logos, all the things.
Don't fully depend on it because it can bite you in the end.
Yes.
Right?
Totally thought you were saying something else.
No. All right. So number 3 was use visuals that reflect your style. Be careful. If you use AI, be careful with it. It's a great starting point, but yeah, just be careful with it.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to number 4 is staying consistent across all platforms. Talk to me about that. Staying consistent.
Yeah. This one is also important. I think there's different ideas out there when it comes to marketing. I've talked to some people and they're like, well, I want different graphics for this, and this. And when it comes to marketing, consistency is really important. Like we just talked about, these two kind of go together. So using those visuals that reflect your brand and your style, but then also being consistent across platforms. So you want those marketing campaigns to match up. You don't want to, you're going to go back. This goes back to clarity and purpose because you don't want to confuse your audience, right? So make sure that you are consistent across all those platforms. Make sure your branding matches. You don't need different graphics for every single different platform. You can use the same graphic. You can use a similar graphic, but you do need it to align. And that comes to when it comes to digital, when it comes to Instagram, Facebook. We're talking TikTok, like when it comes to those videos, kind of same thing. And then this aligns with a full marketing mix, full marketing campaign. So even being coming from the newspaper world, like same thing. You want those ads to match up and reflect your style. You want that messaging to be the same. Radio ads, like you want that consistent messaging so you have a good marketing campaign.
Like taglines.
Exactly.
Colors.
Exactly.
I think you can repurpose videos, especially when they are up and down.
Vertical.
Okay.
Social media, vertical always, please. Unless, you can play around with things. But
there
go vertical.
The up and down one. I tell my husband now, when people
they turn the phone.
Yes, they turn the phone into landscape and yes.
Oh, every day I feel like put it up and down, put it vertical. And I'm like, no, vertical, up and down.
Yes, because it works across the platforms that most businesses use, right?
Yes.
Facebook, LinkedIn,
just
Facebook,
go vertical.
Just go vertical. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all use vertical. It's the best. So stay consistent on all platforms. Consistency is key. A lot of businesses are like, why am I not growing? But they post once a week.
Yeah. Stay consistent.
If you don't expect to grow at the rate you want to grow when you're not visible.
Yes, you have to show up for your audience. Your audience has to find you, like you talked about earlier. They have to find you. Yes, you have to use those keywords. That's also important.
Yep, you have to be consistent. Yeah. The consistency that you're using now for social media is your newspaper, right?
Yes.
It is because, for example, when you're at the grocery store and back in the day, I used to pick up like the National Enquirer. It sounds bad, but I used to pick up whatever magazine was right there.
Yeah.
And now I don't touch them. I don't touch the recipe book. I don't touch the puzzles. I am on my phone.
Yeah. And a lot of people are scrolling.
I'm scrolling and I'm waiting for, the next person to ring up and do the thing. And I am on my phone. Are you like that too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm checking my email. And this goes with, staying consistent across platforms, email campaigns.
Yes.
Marketing campaigns. Like I'm checking my email. I'm on social media. Like I'm replying to text messages. Yeah. And nothing against print. I come from the publishing world. Parents still do newspaper. So I always have to advocate for that. But yes, people are on their phones. They're scrolling. That is the new normal now.
Yes. So you want to make sure that you have a strong digital brand. So that was number 4 was staying consistent across all platforms. Let's talk about number 5, which is I think this one is super important. It is building relationships, not just reach. Build those relationships. What do you think about that?
Yeah. And kind of going back to what we just talked about. So reach is important. So staying consistent, continuously posting, getting that reach, right? That's very important. You can get that reach organically or through paid ads, but also building relationships. So this is where you want to build trust with people. I love showing people like, yes, this is the business. This is why you should come here. And then I like showing the business owners or the employees because it really helps when they have that interaction, it helps build that trust behind it. And then engaging with your audience on there, so important. I think that's something people don't talk about is engagement. And when we say engagement, we mean like replying back to comments, replying back to messages, because you do lose trust. People took their time to comment on that video or on that graphic, like on those posts, right? So you want to make sure that you're responding back to that audience, and you want to make sure that you're continuously building that relationship with them.
Yes. Don't just look at the likes and the comments and just be like, yay, and then scroll on. You have to build that relationship, because the trust factor is huge with small businesses and, even large businesses. But in order to build a stronger digital brand, I believe that talking to people, making that relationships, commenting back, liking, building that back and forth is totally key.
And so important. And going back to email campaigns, that's another way to I use the word nurture. So that's another way to nurture your audience, is using those email campaigns. So you've already got them, and then maybe you're sending them promotions, or you're giving them education, or telling them about anything new coming. It's a great way to nurture that audience that you already have, and it helps build trust too.
Love it. Love it. All right. Moving on to the last one, which is reflect and refine your strategy often. So talk to me about checking your metrics.
Yes. So this is all back end stuff, again, that nobody talks about. That is all very important. So you might have a post and it might have not done well, and you're like, oh, my strategy is not working. You can always change it up. You can always figure something else out. Try something, try it for, a month, look back at your metrics. Meta gives you a bunch of metrics. Whatever platform you're using gives you those numbers, so you can see like how many people you reached, how many people engaged, what that looks like. And then if it wasn't the number you wanted, or if you don't consistently see growth, I think growth is important. So if you're seeing those numbers downtrend, pause. Okay, let me change something up. Let's change up the strategy a little bit. And then you can try that. But keep going. I think this is so important. People get down and they just give up, and then they give up on social media.
Yes. Don't be afraid to change it up.
Yes. Don't be afraid to change it up ever. And if something's working, go with it. Keep going with it. Because if it's working for a reason, you might have found something, a whole new strategy that works.
Yes. I think a lot of people are scared once they try something and it doesn't work. They feel that internally, and they're like, oh, I'm just no good at it. Right. And then they don't think about just trying something different.
Yes.
Maybe purple wasn't your color. Maybe try blue. Maybe try green. Maybe try a different font. Maybe try something else. You just play with it.
Pivot. Everybody loves a good pivot. Just try something else.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much, Stephanie. You are obviously an amazing, amazing marketer, and I'm so thankful to have you as my business partner for Howdy Social Media and Marketing. You have been such a joy. This whole experience with you it's been awesome.
Yes. And call to action, because I'm a marketer. I have to have a call to action. You can download these freebies on our Instagram or our website. You can sign up for a newsletter. So always have to have that call to action. So important. So you can download these. You heard us talk about them. You can get this PDF and these graphics from us. And we send a monthly newsletter with tips and tricks and all the things. So even updates, community updates, local updates, everything going on.
Yes. Again, this is Jessica Cherry with Stephanie Johnson. We are Howdy Social. And if this episode hit, and if you've been playing small, hiding, waiting, or spinning your wheels, this is your moment to change that, to change all of that. And this is She Will Empower. It's your space for truth, tools, and real transformation. You can catch brand new episodes every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on KWVH 94.3 Wimberley Valley Radio. And of course, you can listen anytime, anywhere on your favorite podcast platform. Just search She Will Empower, and I'll be right there waiting for you. And if you're an early riser or trying to become one, come hang out with me every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Wake Up Club on Wimberley Valley Radio. It's cozy, it's fun, it's full of great music and real conversations. And honestly, it's one of the best ways to start your morning feeling grounded, connected, and a little more alive. And if you're here in Central Texas and your nervous system feels fried, overwhelmed, or like you've been running on fumes for way too long, I would love to see you in person at Lone Star Sound Baths. Just search Lone Star Sound Baths on social media and you'll find me. I guide immersive sound bath experiences designed to help you soften, settle, and truly reset your mind, body, and spirit. And it's one of the most healing offerings I provide. and serving our community in this way, something I truly love. And you can also connect with me through Ladies Lifestyle Network Hayes County, where I host monthly empowerment and networking events, and met my co-founder, Stephanie Johnson, across the Hill Country. And these gatherings feature powerful speakers, local nonprofits, incredible women-owned businesses, and some truly beautiful venues. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. And one more thing. If you want a little bit of behind the scenes of motherhood, entrepreneurship, healing, and real life as it unfolds, you can find me over on social media at Life of a Cherry Wife. Truly, thank you so much for being with me today. And thank you for showing up, doing the work, and for choosing growth, even when it stretches you. Before you go, I want you to do one small thing for your future self, something tiny, because tiny moves add up, choices compound, and sometimes that one small decision becomes the moment that changes everything. Tiny moves create big impact, and big impact could be the confidence boost you need today. So stay powerful, stay grounded, stay connected, and have the most amazing, beautiful day and week. I'll see you next time. Bye.